Hello, is this Jeff?
Yes, it is. Is this Gregor?
It is, yeah. How are you?
Very well. Okay, well, first up, I want to ask you this. Let's focus on Valenfire.
Yeah.
Are you still on time for your release this Halloween and the day after for A Fragile King on Century Media?
Yeah, everything's in place. I did the finished versions of the album. The copies were yesterday, so I presume it's all running to plan. I'm not sure why it's the day after, why it's November 1st in the States, but it could be your obsession with Halloween over there that maybe knocked it back a day or something. I don't know.
Our obsession? Don't you guys have like a week-long crazy thing, or is that already done?
No, maybe 2,000 years ago we might, when it was a pagan. No, you take these old festivals from around the world and turn them into enormous celebrations with huge inflatable things outside your houses and things, don't you?
Yes. Well, back to A Fragile King. On a more serious note, I'm going to go like this. The words, grim, gripes at society, religion, and a battle with terminal illness. Can you tell us or give our audience the emotions that this music is centered around for A Fragile King?
Well, yeah, actually, the album and the whole idea behind the band actually was spawned out of, or the spark behind it came from my father dying at the end of 2009 after an illness. And I guess a lot of the lyrics that emerged from that were just part of the grieving process. I guess it's perfectly normal, but some of them turned out quite sad, some of them turned out quite angry. But after a while, after maybe, I'd written half the record, I decided to sort of broaden the subject matter and get friends involved in it because, it can become a little tiring after a while, concentrate on all that grief. So, it was time to turn something negative into something a little more positive,
Sure. It fits a way of your music lifestyle as far as maybe tones, melodies, harmonies, the sound and volume of your experiences, but yet what a sad situation for you. So on that note, with friends that have joined you as you started growing into your rebirth, so to speak, let's say I noticed 3 guitar players, which is badass. I love that. Tell us about each member one by one, if you would. Let's start with you, because let's introduce, to you right now. We know you play with Paradise Lost. What would you like to say about yourself? And then we'll move on to Hamish.
Well, I've been a professional musician for 20-something years, maybe. Started out in about 87. Not quite as old as you there, Jeff, but it's we were definitely inspired by some of your early stuff there, So yeah, started out then and been doing it ever since, and having a lot of fun doing it. And this is my first thing that I've done other than Paradise Lost. I know that it's quite a lot of people like to do lots of projects, but I've never really felt the need to do it until now. So, that's kind of my story, I suppose.
That's great. How is Hamish? Hamish Glencross. And how did that go about? Because that's a really cool connection there.
Yeah, we kind of grew up in the same area, but we sort of in the similar scene in England there as well, a music scene. But we went our separate paths musically and stuff. But I've always, every time I go back to my hometown, which I haven't lived there for maybe 15 years, but every time I go back to see family or whatever, I always give Hamish a call and just say, do you want to go to the pub and have a few drinks and stuff? And, he's just an old friend, really. I just thought he'd be an interesting guy because I know he's a really good guitarist as well to get in on guitar and jam around with.
Great, that's great. That is definitely, I can't imagine that blend. And then now Mully, which I don't know as much about.
And he's the only guy in the band who's not really, he's not been in the music business before. I mean, he's purely in there because he's just a great friend of ours, and we actually call him Mully from the pub, because that's what he, you know, it's like you say Gregor from Paradise Lost, Hades from My Dying Bride, and Mully from the pub, you know, so he's just a good guy to have around, you know. He's kind of eccentric, and he can drink a lot, so that's my reason for getting him in. Yeah.
That's great. He's got the endurance there. Mully from the pub. He'll give you the endurance on the road.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Someone's got to drink the rider, you know.
And then from Doom, Extinction of Mankind on bass, Scoot.
Yeah. He kind of brings the crusty, dirty element to Valhalla Fire, and he's another old friend of 20-something years. We used to share a house together way back, like 20-something years ago, and he does lots of bands all the time, kind of thing, in that kind of crust punk scene. But he was also in Nailbot with Max Cavalera at one time. In fact, I think, didn't you play in '95 with Trouble at the where was it? In Holland at the Dynamo. Yeah. Because when we played that as well with Paradise Lost, Hamish played it with My Dying Bride, and Scoot was there playing with a nail bomb with Max Cavalera. So quite a few of us were at that festival. So it's quite a weird connection there. Yeah.
That's very weird. We had talked with Aaron about that, Aaron Stainthorpe, and it's very similar camaraderie with you guys. Wonderful people, I must say.
Oh, thank you very much.
Lastly, Adrian Aronson. What's
that? Yeah, he's another guy I've known for quite a while. Not quite 20 years, but he's a Swedish guy. He's lived in England for over 10 years now. He's been in many bands as well. You know, At the Gates, Skit System, Brujeria, you know, lots of bands. He's currently the drummer in Paradise Lost as well, and it was just the obvious choice for me because he's a great drummer, and he's a good guy to have around. He makes us all laugh a lot, so it's a good person. And he's like 6'5", and he's good in case you get into a fight as well. So you know.
Oh man. Can you give us a preview of song titles and like a quick expose of some of those, and even if they're just some of your favorite ones from favorite tracks or something like that, some song titles and some explanation or previews.
Okay, all right. There's a song called All Will Suffer, and it's the first track on the album, and that's kind of when I was feeling the worst part of the the grief after my father died, and it's kind of a cynical song about it, but also kind of a realist song where it's just saying that this kind of thing will come to everyone eventually. And I guess it's not the most cheery subject, but you know, it was just what was on my mind at the time, I guess. And then this song called Cathedrals of Dread, which is more, that's off that subject. It's more to do with religion. I'm an atheist myself, and you know, I don't particularly like what religions stand for in general and how they're run. But it's kind of, that song is more about the sheep mentality, the kind of where the people kind of follow religions blindly and don't even question things, and you know, that's kind of about that. And the final song on the album is called The Grim Irony, and this kind of sums up everything that I write about on the record. It's kind of just a statement, really, saying, yeah, life can be pretty shit, but hey, what can you do about it? You know, it's like the joke's on us, you know, kind of thing. So, and that song kind of sums up the lyrics for the entire album in one song, I guess, you know.
That's great. That is such a... The word grim is huge.
Yeah, I love that word. How
early in 2012 will Valenfire begin playing? Is it January or more spring? Have you talked about that?
Well, yeah, we're gonna spend 2, 3, 4 weeks rehearsing in January, and our first show is booked in Helsinki, actually, in Finland, in the first week of February, and then we've got another one shortly afterwards in London, and we have to really wait till the album comes out because it's a very new band, so we have to wait till the album comes out and see if people like it before we start going crazy booking tours and things. But yeah, we've already had some festival offers for Europe as well already. But my bigger actual dream for Valenfire is to tour the States, actually, because you know, when I've been doing interviews for this record, it's kind of become clear to me that a lot of people in the States and in Canada kind of missed out on that first wave of the European death metal, death doom thing that was going on in the mid to late 80s. And it seems like there's a real hunger for it over there now. Like, people want to know more about it and want to hear more about it. And I think Valenfire will be kind of the perfect band to link that kind of mid-80s, late 80s sound to the modern audience. So it'll be cool to get up there every day. So when I'm doing these interviews, I'm kind of asking if you know, people can mention to their local promoters to try and book us to come over, you know, and hopefully the album will come out, people will like it, and we'll get booked to come over, you know.
That would be great. And we're noticing some trends here in the U.S. That small doom festivals are popping up annually, and they're getting a little bit more stir. At first, they're sort of club size. We wish they would be like, you know, Eindhoven at the Dynamo, and like the days, like the golden days, I would call them over there. Yeah. But they are very new. They're very, it's growing, and I think you're on the right track there. And get over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to. Let the album come out and then have a word with some promoters, and we'll be there, you know.
That's great. Let's shift gears here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you in your early days. Can you explain your education in music, or how it all came about?
Yeah, well, when I was very young, when I was, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that, my older brother, who's like 4 or 5 years older than me, he was into a lot of the kind of hardcore UK punk scene, so it was like Discharge and stuff like that, and you know, GBH and stuff like that. And that kind of got me listening to stuff that wasn't the norm, if you like, you know. But at the same time, he was listening to stuff like Motorhead and you know, Black Sabbath and stuff. So I kind of just picked all that up and then went with it on my own, you know, and then found out about the bands that were starting to cross scenes, you know, the metal scene and the punk scene, and blend the music together. And then death metal appeared, and I got into that, and you know, I was into, well, yourselves, I was into Trouble. Like Psalm 9 was one of my, it's probably one of my all-time favorite albums. Psalm 9 is probably my top 5, I would say, you know. So yeah, the stuff like the first Candlemas album and the early Celtic Cross stuff, and I kind of wanted to blend all that stuff together, and that's what I did when I started the early Paradise Lost stuff. It was kind of a mixture of all that early stuff blended together, I guess, and we took it from there.
That's like a fine wine.
It is, but what we did is take about 5 or 6 different fine wines and mix it, and I'm not supposed to. I'm not sure you're supposed to do that, you know.
No, you can blend.
Okay.
Wow, that's really cool. It's like, so your education then, Gregor, is like a rock and roll education. It's taking sounds and then applying it to your instruments when you got it, and then just shedding and practicing and getting yourself kicking ass that way. Is that how that occurred from your influences then?
Yeah, kind of. But plus, I think back in the 80s and stuff, especially in like the kind of more marginalised scenes that we came from. People started bands purely because it was a hobby, because it was fun to do, and it was kind of like you'd have a few beers, you'd hang around with your friends, you'd go and rehearse a little bit, and then you'd go and play the tape to somebody and just mess around. And I think that's a real good way and an honest way to start a band. And I think that's been kind of skewed a little bit over the last 10 years or so. I get kids coming up to me saying, how do I get a record deal? How do I get a merchandise deal? And all this. I think that's kind of thinking about it the wrong way. You're running before you walk. I think it's important to do your little stint in vans and things like that and just have a laugh with your friends,
Excellent. Okay. Has music then, on that note, after the fun, has it been a viable living for you through all these years, or have you ever had to do other work, like regular jobs or whatever, to support it?
Well, we in the early days before it all took off, it was kind of Paradise Lost started as Paradise Lost in about early 88, and it wasn't until kind of 92 that we turned professional. And could make a living from it. So we haven't had to do anything else since '92. We've been, fairly lucky in that respect that we, sold enough albums, I guess, even through the downloading thing. Fortunately, we sell enough albums to maintain a decent living. But yeah, we definitely had to do all that groundwork at first. Where we had to try and hold down a job at the same time as going out in vans in Europe and things like that. And we were over in the States in 91, 92 and stuff like that, trying to do a tour in a van over there. And it's pretty rough going in little clubs over in the States. I'm sure you know this yourself.
I'm going to put you on a game show. I did this to Aaron Stainthorpe. I only do this to a few people, but I like doing it to the Brits.
Okay, all right.
Because for some reason, you guys are funnier.
Funny how? How am I funny?
Funny, strange, funny, ha.
Yeah.
And I don't know if do you know, just to preface this, do you know who King Kong is?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get ready to match the stars. William Shatner, Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Riley, Lee Merriweather, Richard Dawson, and
Gregor Mackintosh.
As we play the star-studded Big Money Match Game PM. And now here's the star of Match Game PM, Gene Rivers.
Here we go. We're off and running.
Off and running.
King Kong said...
Hi,
Hey! Anybody got a huge toothpick? I've got a blank stuck between my teeth. That's what King Kong said. I need a huge toothpick. I got a blank stuck.
Okay.
All right, I didn't see your answer, but
also, just anything at all comes to mind.
Yep, any word, fill in the blank.
There'll be time for that later.
Okay.
Come to my dressing room after the show.
For some reason, Bobby Liebling popped into my head.
many years ago. Bring up
Pentagram. I have no idea why. I know it's probably because he's really thin. I don't know, but
Who said that?
I don't. But he'd be the toothpick, wouldn't he? I've got that the wrong way
Charles,
around, I
we're
guess.
waiting for you. There has to be one slow-witted one in every group, and Charles is ours.
Okay, I'm sorry, Bobby. If you're listening,
King Kong said, "Hey, anybody got a huge toothpick? I got a blank stuck between my teeth."
Bobby Liebling.
It's all right. She'll go back to San Francisco if you're not careful. Leave her alone. William, what did you say?
I said, King Kong said, I've got a...
Bobby Liebling.
Stuck between my teeth.
King Kong said, not me.
Okay, that's good.
It's not bad.
He certainly had wide spaces between his teeth, didn't he? Brett, what do you say?
Braces.
Oh, he did?
I said he had a...
Bobby Liebling.
Had a arm stuck.
Now, hold it. Just a minute now.
Leave her alone.
Go ahead.
Charles.
He was in a movie.
Yes?
So he had
Bobby Liebling.
stuck in his tooth.
Fay Ray could have gotten stuck between his teeth. That's all of those are logical answers now. Now, what do you say?
I remember the movie.
Now we come to the illogical.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I saw the movie, and I also saw some of the edited versions.
Yes.
And the fella had,
A huge, stringy banana peel.
between his teeth.
Okay. Now we'll come to the logical answer from Richard.
Well, thank you, Gene. I said...
A huge, stringy banana peel.
Hey, Bobby. Karen says, I've got a banana stuck between my teeth, is what King Kong said. Now, what do you say King Kong said?
It ain't a banana.
It ain't? What? What is it?
Well, I saw that movie. Don't say it.
Come on now.
Bobby Liebling.
Hey, No, now listen, it could have been any one of those things, the airplane or any of those things flying around. Sure, that was okay. Now, Dottie, this is all yours. You ready for that? Here's Dottie's first round question.
What, are you going to press me on the dark stuff?
No. The 5-question thing, right?
You mean the match game?
But he'd be the toothpick, wouldn't he? I've got that the wrong way around, I guess, you know. Okay, I'm sorry, Bobby, if you're listening, you know.
What would you like to say to the entire world right now, Gregor?
On their computers, I'd switch your computers off and go outside. Actually, yeah,
that's your big
just go
prolific
outside.
statement to the world right now.
Yeah. Switch computers and go outside. Stop looking at the screen, you know.
What a fun interview this has been, bro. Really, really happy, and thank you so much for this.
Cheers, man. No problem. It's a pleasure.
Okay, have a great night, and someday let's meet and talk again.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Okay, see you later.
Okay, see you, man. Bye.